everyone, I'm your host Jordan Banderas, and this is the Bad Influence Podcast. But before we get started, don't forget to smash the subscribe or follow button so you don't miss out on any episodes. And let's get started. So, on today's episode, I want to talk about this new term that I keep seeing on social media. Everybody's talking about it, the news are even talking about it. Even Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, and Arianna Huffington, the founder of the HuffPost, are even talking about it. And that new term is called quiet quitting. Now, when I first heard this new term, I was like, that sounds like something I have done in the past. Because the way that I quit a job, like once I found a new job that I'm gonna start, let's say in like 2-3 weeks, I literally don't do shit after that. I stay within the bare minimum. I scrap by just to not get fired, because I'm gonna quit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I just do the bare minimum. But apparently this new term, quiet quitting, is completely different to what I thought. Because after hearing Arianna Huffington and Kevin O'Leary talk about it, I was like, I guess I don't know exactly what that means. So I looked for the definition, and the definition of quiet quitting now is pretty much when you physically still turn up to work, but mentally you check out and do the absolute bare minimum to get by. Which, to me, it seems like you don't even half-ass it. You don't even quarter-ass it. You pretty much penny-ass it. You just do the bare minimum. Like, I did my job. I cleaned the toilet. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. Or I talked to 50 clients today. That's the minimum. There you go. That's pretty much it. Or in this case, people don't actually do anything else. They're just staying there for the check. And I think that's completely different than the way that I was doing it before, in my opinion at least. Now, after I heard about what Kevin O'Leary said, which he said that if you're a quiet quitter, you're hurting businesses, that you're missing opportunities, and all these things, I was like, well, he may be right. You could be missing opportunities to, grow a career if you want to stay within that company, or, learn something new, or for your bosses to actually acknowledge you, because you're just doing the bare minimum. Your bosses are just going to look at you and say like, well, he barely works. He's just staying afloat to not get fired, because people will see that with your numbers. When they look at your numbers, you can see who's doing the bare minimum and who's not. But one of the things that intrigued me even more to research this within myself was what Arianna Huffington wrote in an op-ed. She said that doing this could actually go farther than just work. It could be a step to quiet quit on your life. So I was like, that's a good fucking point. Because I see, and I did this myself, a lot of us are just scraping by in life. We're literally just doing the bare minimum, but we always complain. Like I said, I've done it. We're always complaining and just doing the bare minimum. We don't want to do anything else. Which is fine, but after I read this from this article from Arianna Huffington, I was like, I need to look this deeper. So I asked myself this question, and I hope you ask yourself the same question, because it's a very important question to know right now. And that question is, have I ever quiet quit on life? Just like she mentioned, And for me, at least that answer is yes. I have done it. I did not just jobs. I did with relationships. I did with, things that I wanted to do. I did with friends, family, even my marriage. It was getting to that point when I was actually starting to quiet quit my marriage. And that's why we went to I forgot. We went to couples counseling. Woo! I almost forgot that word. We went to couples counseling because of that. So I was like, you know what? I have done it. And after I realized this, it's not a good feeling. Let me tell you. It doesn't give you a good feeling because I was like, damn, I missed so many fucking opportunities because I decided to quiet quit, you know? Like, I would have been a lot more happier from the beginning of my marriage if I hadn't done that. I would have been able to learn so much more from people that I met if I hadn't quiet quit that relationship. And another thing that this made me realize when I literally started looking at this answer for this question is that I see that a lot of people are doing the same thing. No, it's not just people that are working in like, you know, like restaurants or anything like that. I see it with lawyers. I see it with all kinds of people. They're literally quiet quitting on life as well, not just on their jobs. One example that I have for this is one person that I know. He works at this company, okay? At this particular company, they have a scorecard where they have different colors depending on where you land. You get a high bonus, medium bonus, or no bonus. So the highest is green, then it goes blue, then it goes yellow, and then it goes red. If you stay in the red for a long time, what happens? Well, you get fired. Well, this person that I know, he literally quiet quit because he's been like the gatekeeper of the yellow for, I will say, like 2-3 years at least. I've known this person for a while and he's been at that position for at least 2 or 3 years. That's a long time to not move up. You know what I mean? Like not wanting to get a higher bonus. And I totally understand because I used to work for that company. That company is hard to work for, but I also was paying more attention to this person to see how his life is going because I'm helping him doing some things and things like that. So I wanted to call him out because he needs to know what he's doing wrong, you know? So I was looking at him and he does the exact same thing in life. Like he wants to buy for example, a nice car, a Mercedes, let's say. But then he goes, no, that's too much work. The payment is too high. You know, like he literally quiet quits right there, in my opinion, because he doesn't want to do anything more to get the car that he wants. Same thing with his relationships. Just like me, just like the same shit that I did. That's why I was like, you know what? I can help this fool because I was just like that. I was just like that, and I was able to actually change. And one of the reasons that I was able to change is because I had to change my way of thinking. I had to change the way that I was seeing things. I literally had to change my mindset. And it was fucking hard. I'm not gonna lie. It was the hardest thing I have ever done because apparently this quiet quitting, when you do it for so long and you don't realize that you're doing it just at work or even outside work, like your regular life, it becomes a bad habit. And we as humans or people, we are known to have bad habits and we create bad habits all the time. So this was an unconscious thing that I created, and I see the same thing with other people. So by me changing the way that I see things, like for example, now with my new job, which I really like, I'm learning a lot. I'm actually getting paid good. I have good benefits. They treat us good. Like they actually treat us good. I was starting to quiet quit. And I was like, oh, hell no. I can't do this. This job is giving me all these opportunities. Why would I not take advantage of that? Why would I not give 100%? When I'm getting paid good money, it lets me pay my bills. It gives me more freedom, the schedule that I have. It lets me spend time with my wife. It lets me take care of my wife. It lets me do all these things. So I had to literally change the way that I was seeing things, I had to literally say to myself that what I was doing was wrong, that I needed to learn so I could actually move up within this company. And I had to do things like that. I had to literally push myself out of that bad habit so I could, learn, so I could do more than just the minimum, because this company doesn't want just the minimum. They want the best. And I'm like, well, I know I'm the best, so I know I can fucking do it. So I had to literally snap out of that mentality of quiet quitting all the freaking time. And with that said, don't get me wrong, because I have seen people being able to manage quiet quitting at work and then having an ultra successful life. Like, actually, one of my mentors, he actually did this when I met him. He was having this job that he hated, but it was good money. He was making good money. He was getting paid good, just like me right now and everything. And he was just literally scraping by. He was like scraping by on it. Like, he was just literally quiet quitting. And once he got out of work, he will literally work on what he wanted to do, on his business. And now he's successful. So when I met him a few months back, I was like, how in the hell were you able to do that? How were you able to separate quiet quitting at work and not quiet quitting in real life? That's a good question to ask, in my opinion. And he said the most important thing that I have heard in my entire fucking life. And what he said was, you only have two choices if you decide to quiet quit. You can quiet quit at work and at real life and stay there and complain your way all the way down the hole and literally not get out of that. Or you can understand that you have dreams, goals, and something that is going to give you the freedom that you want. It could be the financial freedom, financial opportunities. It's gonna give you so many opportunities, but you have to understand those two options. You have to choose either one. You have to choose I'm gonna stay here and not give a crap about anything. I'm just gonna scrap by and get that, just scraps in life. Or I'm going to literally just do this job for now, and once I get out of work, I'm going to do what I really want. I'm going to work on my dream. When he said that, I was like, holy shit, this is why you're so good. And that's why he became my mentor, because he is fucking good. So those are the two choices that he mentioned to me. And I think that people need to make the right choice, or somehow we need to learn how to actually, do quiet quitting at work without quiet quitting in real life. Because like Arianna Huffington said, it's a very fine line in that situation, because like I said, I've done it. I know people that have done it. And probably you may be doing it right now without even knowing. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I think with everything that has happened in the last 2 years, we are so fucking overwhelmed. We are like triggered by everything. There's a lot of shit going on right now. The economy, everything. Like, you just want to at least scrap by. But if you decide to just scrap by, like my mentor said, that's what you're going to get. Just the fucking scraps. So make that decision, just like a lot of people are doing, myself included. And if you decide to choose the other option, where you just want to scrap by and everything, that is totally fine. That is your decision. But then don't get mad if you're not achieving the life that you want. Because when that was happening to me, I was fucking upset. And that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys today. I really hope you guys enjoy this episode. I'm enjoying this podcast. I am enjoying all the feedback, all the comments, everything. I love to talk to the community. I love to talk to the listeners, and thank you for the growth. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for that. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We also have the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you want to send me a DM with questions that you may want me to answer on an episode, or I can just answer them privately, you can DM me on social media, or you can email me at bjordanthebadinfluence@gmail.com. And with that said, my final thoughts. Make the right decision when it comes to your life. Don't follow into a trend. Just because you don't like your job, don't quit on life. Those are my final thoughts, and also have a great day.